time for another episode of Geekin' Out. Hey, happy Monday.
Hey,
Billy
Billy.
Berserker, aka Kendra Mage.
Yeah.
Kendra Mage. Hey, and then our friend Liz. What's up, Liz? Thanks for joining us
Hi,
tonight.
Liz.
Wow. So,
Welcome.
it's been Monday, and it's raining here in good old Georgia. So
Yeah.
it's shit right now.
It's pretty stormy over here too.
Right
up in Jersey.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, lucky you.
But anyways, happy Monday. Welcome to Geeking Out, where a bunch of us get together and talk about like geeky stuff, I guess. I am your host for tonight, Rickey Z. Just so you guys know, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, all those fun things. I'm gonna need you to help me out.
Turn on your alerts.
Yes, follow all those things. We're on Facebook at WNM. There we go.
On anything on Facebook.
It's the M or the N. I'm going to guess every time. Well, it's Whoa Nelly Media. So WNM Geekin' Out. You'll find us. You'll find us at Geekin' Out at most places. If not, definitely WNM for Instagram. Otherwise, on YouTube and such, we are just regular Geekin' Out, and Facebook.
Yeah.
Geekin' Out with an apostrophe.
Yes.
No G. So, no second G.
No second G. So yes, you can find us on Facebook on Geekin' Out, Instagram WNM Geekin' Out. We're on Twitch. You can find us on my Twitch on Mondays. So that's Rickey Z, and you can also find us on our usual Twitch, which is at Day Gamer. We can also find us on the Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you can watch us on Twitter. We're on Twitter. After Periscope disappeared, they got their stuff together, and you can still stream things.
Not Periscope.
Oh yes, they got rid of the Periscope.
Ooh,
what year is this?
Honestly, though, I don't even know. Technology has changed so much in the past 2 years, and I can't even keep up. How's this possible?
I mean, look, we weren't even sure if we'd be on Facebook tonight, to be quite honest with you.
Thank you. Okay, so can we just talk about that briefly? Only because it was like a total whistleblow because Facebook's like misinformation policies, and I'm pretty sure that's why they shut everything down so they could kind of like consolidate and do some damage control before. you know what I mean? Because that shit came out last night and it was hot. So
look, so if for some reason our broadcast gets cut off in the middle of the show,
it's
because
the government.
It's either the government or Facebook heard us, and then they're not too happy about us talking about them like that.
Maybe should have answered that.
And you know what? That's not our business. That is none of our business.
It's none of our business.
It's none of my business.
I mean, that is its own geeky subject, but not tonight's. So
not tonight. So tonight's episode is about Steven Universe. I've been talking about this show on and off for probably about the year that we've been on Geeking Out, and it's been like my comfort show for the last 2 or 3 years. And it's been well after the show had ended. Yes. Look, though, because it took me forever to find season 5, the movie, and Steven Universe feature anywhere on the internet where I didn't have to pay for it.
Girl. And then, of course, now it's free.
HBO Max?
Now it's everything you need.
Well, but before then, though, because the kids and I were watching before HBO Max. Well, yes, we would have paid for that because we didn't have cable. I already had Hulu, and you could watch seasons 1 through 4 on Hulu, no problem.
But the rest
of it, I just had to wait and
not really following my footsteps, being an internet pirate. Well, we do what we gotta do. Whatever, the show was everything, so it's worth it.
Honestly. Okay, so of course we gotta start off with one of our little mini segments, and we're gonna take it back old school to what the hell are y'all geeking out about right now? What are y'all geeking out about? Right now, I'm kind of geeking about Facebook being a hit dog hollering.
That's a nice one. That is a nice one.
And I'm also geeking out about the fact that Halloween's coming up. It's October. We're in spooky season.
It's officially the spooky season.
And I got myself and my kids' costumes ready to go. It's already ordered.
Ooh.
Bitch, nice. I've already started mine. I've got sketches for one of them that I have to make out and things. But it's nice. They're coming along. So
what are you gonna be for Halloween?
I'm gonna be the Scream killer.
Yes.
Also, okay, so possibly I have a Hannibal in the making as well.
Ooh.
And then there possibly might be a witch. And
Always
then,
a great choice.
And then from there on, I'm trying to figure out which places like locally or around here that are having like costume contests, and then the rest of the costumes kind of come out after that. You know what I mean? Because then they're more about on theme, because I'm trying to win some cash for that. You know what I mean? I put an effort and I look like fucking amazing, so I might as well get praised for it and paid for it. So
Yes.
yeah. So anyway, I have like a whole like subset of other ones that I kind of keep in the background just for those occasions, but generally scream and horror this year, slasher killers.
I love that. That makes me so happy.
Yeah. It's not
What
usually
about
my
you,
job.
Shimon? What about you, Shimon? What are you
So
getting for Halloween?
me and some of my friends are going as the vampires from Lost Boys. So like high fashion meets vampire.
Yeah.
Put it together. I'm gonna have hair, but I normally always have hair for Halloween. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
This turned into what are you geeking out about to what are you
Okay.
being gonna be for Halloween?
So no,
Oh yeah, it sort of
okay,
did
well,
that.
in this season now, because I'm also thinking of doing something Wheel of Timey, because Wheel of Time is coming out in November 19th. Oh my god, it's like a month away. I'm gonna die. Oh my god, guys. Also, like they just came out in Entertainment News Weekly. They got a whole fucking article. Okay, so just so everyone knows, Wheel of Time, this is how epic they are. They are 4 times longer than Harry Potter. 7 times longer than like what is it? I want to say Song of Ice and Fire. Song of Ice and Fire. I think it's like 7
Hunger
times
Games.
Oh, Hunger Games. Yeah.
No,
okay,
Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. You're talking about Game of Thrones.
That's what I meant. Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And it's like 12 times longer than Lord of the Rings. So
Oh God.
Oh God.
Yeah,
right.
So let's talk about it. This bitch is long and it's awesome and it's amazing. But like, you know, the trailer came down. The 19th is coming out. It's coming out. It's got all this like publicity that's coming out for it. I'm really here and I'm excited. Also, it is Watttober, which is Wheel of Time-tober, as in Wheel of Time's version of Inktober. So if you guys are following me at all, Bad Juju on IG BADD with double D's, JUJU, you will find my art on there for this month's Inktober challenge, drawing challenge that's more Wheel of Time based, but you'll find it there.
Nice. Well, I don't know where Jermaine is.
I know we lost him again.
He's
no.
coming.
Oh no, Jermaine!
Jermaine, no!
Jermaine, no!
There he is! Okay, and we're up and running.
Okay, so was that me or was that like everything?
No, just you, sir.
It's definitely you. It's okay. And that's okay, you're back.
No matter what.
And you're frozen or something. You need to go to like a library or something.
We gotta figure this shit out.
Yeah.
He getting a wig? Maybe. He might be. No, not today. Maybe not today. No wig today.
No wig today. That was last summer when he got the wig.
Right. So what else are we geeking out about today, guys? Anything else?
I'm geeking out about... I do have 2 things. I'm geeking out about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Hence, I'm wearing my Sunnydale High t-shirt.
The Hellmouth.
So Buffy the Vampire... Hey, Hellmouth. So Buffy is supposed to be getting a reboot. We haven't heard anything about it. All we know is the lead is black, and that's all we got for you. However, Regina King, is doing a new TV show called Slay, and it's about, of course, another girl of color who has a heritage of fighting demons and things. So I don't know. It could be the same thing, but if I was going to do a reboot, I would have called it Slay also. So who knows?
I'm still here for it. Stop. Sarah Michelle Gellar was the voice of something recently that we were watching. Wasn't it? Like
He-Man, Tila.
He-Man? Yeah, that's what it was. She was
Tila.
I was just like,
man, or He-Man.
Yeah, I was like, what? No way. I was not expecting that because we were just, obviously we were just talking
about
I
love that.
A couple weeks ago.
And the last thing I'm geeking out about is that it's Halloween time, my favorite holiday of the year. And haunted houses are open. All the horror movies are already starting to roll out. Blumfest was this weekend, so they released all these different horror movies and did all these behind the scene things. So the world of horror is busting open. So I'm excited.
Yes.
Alright.
Someone like a supernatural reboot. Look, I don't know. We just ended it. We just
Thankfully,
ended
it just went off, but I actually heard something about Supernatural, and maybe coming back to television. I don't know if it was a reboot or something like that, but however, we just got it all. It was on for like 100 seasons, like 7 seasons.
Yeah.
Enough.
Wasn't it on like for forever already? And like it didn't just
Forever.
yeah, it's like 2 years ago, something like that.
Literally this year it ended.
This year. Oh, lied. This year. Just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think,
Jermaine, what
I
do
think
you
we can
think
wait a little
about
bit of time. before
There's
we
a
go.
couple of spin-offs that didn't like make it.
Right.
They all got
Okay.
cut.
And all.
Connection
Supernatural?
problems.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
an issue
God.
right now. No, it's not just you, because it's me too.
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody else got anything that they're geeking out about? Because I think I'm pretty good. We can go to a
I'm all
commercial break.
geeked out.
Oh, actually, I'll add one more thing. So a couple of weeks ago, did I say that? I went to the Citizen Live concert. I did say that last time.
Yeah,
I did.
Mhm.
I did mention that briefly. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I thought I shelved that one, but I guess not.
Are we drinking
Well,
tonight?
What am I geeking out about? Not too much.
Oh, yeah.
I'm enjoying a lot, but yes. Oh, drinking.
Oh,
games.
yeah. Oh, yes,
What
yes,
about
yes.
that?
Okay, so before we get into the main topic, so the game for tonight: take a drink every time someone says the word fusion or crystal gem / gems.
Fusion, crystal gem.
So, right.
Oh, there we go. And so we begin.
Mm-hmm. And so I've been began.
Oh,
Look,
We see.
you stay
I'm
ready.
late
So
to
you
the
don't
party.
Girls
Look,
like,
you
it's
stay ready, so you don't have to get ready.
Yes,
Ain't
that's
that
what you do.
All right, so we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we're gonna get into our main topic of Steven Universe feature, and we'll be right back. All right, see you soon. Whew. Okay, so I'm assuming everything went okay. Yeah, so that was my commercial for my social media company for podcasting. So if you got an idea or a story to tell, and you're not quite sure where to start, hit me up.
Yeah.
You can find me. You can find me on just about everything at _ Rickey Z on Twitter. I have Facebook page, Instagram account, TikTok, all that stuff. If you want to just email me at rzware@rickyzsocialmedia.com. Check my website, all that fun stuff, and hit me up. Tell me what you're thinking about. We can get something started. All right, so let's get into it.
Yes.
Steven Universe and the
Fusion
crystal
drinks only.
gems. Yes.
Fusion drinks only? Yes, fusion drinks only. Oh no, not fusion drinks only. As I said that like 3 times.
No. Oh, I wish I had a fusion drink. No, mine's
Mhm.
like a basic like pink lemonade and tonic water. That's my fusion.
Mine's my regular plum wine. It's like my new thing.
I'm doing tequila, rum, and watermelon puree.
Ooh,
That is a fusion.
that's a fusion.
That is a whole fusion.
That is a whole.
I'm gonna be a fusion.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start off with like the basics. So Steven Universe was a show on Cartoon Network. It ended like a couple years ago, where you have this boy who's half fusion, which are like these alien from outer space, and they're really like rocks that are in the shape of humans, or like a humanoid shape. And so he's half crystal gem, half human. And he was very young and sweet, and he was just basically just trying to like live his life. He is growing up and figuring out who he is in the world and where he belongs, and how like his history, like with his mother, and how it just all makes sense and how he fits into it, and learning like how he came to be, honestly. And so he is, I think, when we first meet Steven, he's like 12 or 13, but he's a short kid with curly hair, walks around in flip flops and a pink t-shirt and jeans. He's the cutest little guy ever, and he's so sweet. And so he's been raised by these 3 crystal gems. We have Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl, all with different personalities. Yes, and they are part of the rebellion because they were sent down to Earth. Well, Amethyst was like planted into Earth, but Pearl was sent down to Earth with Steven's mom, who is Rose Quartz, who AKA is Pink Diamond. If you haven't seen the show, I'm sorry, go watch it. It's on HBO Max, but it's a great show. And so like these guys, these gems are like mother figures for him. He has his dad, but like his dad is not. I can't really describe. I like Greg. I think Greg's great.
I like Greg. To be honest, I
love Greg, but it's just Greg was just so hands off when he needed to be hands on.
Yeah,
he's strictly ornamental.
Yeah, but not necessarily. He just played the role of a figure that I think that needed to be seen. And that's what I really enjoyed most about this entire show, is that it gave light to people and situations and things that you don't normally shed light on. So like Greg is not your normal run of the mill like TV show cartoon dad where he's like, where he's got everything handled and he's got his job and he's taking care of the family and blah blah blah, and like all that is all those regular worries are superfluous. No, he actually worries about those things because that isn't the kind of person he is. He's like, he's been like a free spirit who's a musician essentially, as if a musician's life is easy. You know what I mean? So it's telling the story of like that. You know what I mean? Where usually we don't see that. Usually we don't see them struggling with those things. We see them already established and like stable. So that was really nice. Also, the whole story in general, like so coming of age. To be honest, I love it.
Oh, very. So, Billy Berserker mentioned, like, yes, this is true. So, the character of Steven is based on creator Rebecca Sugar's brother. And, like, she said that they said that their brother was just, like, this person that was always there for them, always a great person to rely on. And, like, that is what Steven is. Just a good, down-to-earth person, trustworthy. And it's also based on, like, an actual writer for the show too, whose name is actually Steven. I did looking up some stuff too.
What he captures most is just like, I feel like the genuine love that children have for each other and for people and things. You know what I mean? Like we always say, children like learn hate. We teach them hate. You know what I mean? Like kids just generally love everyone and everything. Like, they go through their frustrations, but they generally just love everyone and everything. That that's kind of like just how they go. So it's the spirit of that continuing on, which we could all use a little bit more of as adults.
Yes.
So I'm fairly new to the show. I was like, I'm fairly new to the show. I've never watched it till we had to watch it for the show, and I'm not really a cartoon person anymore. So I was like, okay, guys, I'm gonna do this, and I actually was laughing a few times out loud, which I cannot, and I was sober, so I was actually laughing a few times out loud, and it was really funny.
It really was. Honestly,
they give him a hard time.
The rubies.
I think it was the first episode when he was trying to learn how to use his gem. And he couldn't do it, and they were trying to teach him how to do his weapon, make his weapon come out, and he found out he had a shield. But the way he was trying to figure it out was so funny to me, nothing would happen. So I laughed at that. So it was pretty cool.
One of the things I loved about the show. The one I love about one of the things I loved about the show was the music. Because the scene that you're talking about, he does this little like rap about like this ice cream sandwich called Cookie Cat. And he does the song, and he feels so happy and content, and that's when he gets his shield. And he's like, they trying to recreate that happiness that he feels.
Oh, I know.
And it's so sweet.
So, oh yeah, that's right, because he took a bite of it, and that's when his gym lit up. And then he was like, "Oh, I need to trigger it again. How do I make it work?"
Yeah. No, you just gotta be happy, sir. Honestly, but what I loved most is how that came full circle. That little bit of the whole show, because anyone who watches the show, they watch it as it's going. So like they've been watching it for years, but like for us who just watch it all in one sitting, it's kind of a different experience because it's almost like doing a whole reread of a series. When you read it like beginning to end nonstop, you kind of remember all the things from the beginning that kind of are relevant in the end. So like the cookie cat at the end was like really, it was a full circle moment. And I was just like, oh, okay, I hear that. I'm here for this.
Absolutely. All right, so while we go through like
also comment on the music. It's so lo-fi and I love it. Like the lo-fi playlists and like that you'll find on like YouTube and stuff, like a lot of their music is very much in that tone, in that like realm of things, and I kind of loved it.
Is it on Apple Music?
Perhaps. Probably.
We're lagging right. I'm lagging.
It probably is on Apple Music, to be honest, but I'm referring more to like the beats, I guess, than the words, than the lyrics, that the actual characters sing, although there are very many of them that are amazing, most especially Pearl's when she's fighting with Greg. That song was fucking killer. I cried my eyes out like hardcore. That one was so touching. It was really well written, lyrics and everything, so I'm here for it.
Some of the things that like cartoon shows that stick out to me from like that's not cartoon, but kid-ish shows, I guess, is like the theme song, and this has a really good theme song. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. I liked it. I was nodding my head to it.
I'm also here for the fact that they all sang it. And I mean, like, you don't have to be a singer, but you can be. My thing is everyone can sing. I would say that. Not everyone has like an extreme range, but everyone could sing. Everyone's very attuned. You know, so it was nice to see them like do it together, and they were just like cast members. Like, yes, they didn't give you a
oh, they actually sung it?
Yeah, they actually sang it themselves. So I'm just like, yes, I'm here for that.
Garnet is the singer
Estelle, so I mean that
right. So she sings, and then the voice actor for Steven, like he actually has an album out right now.
No way.
Yeah, he does. But you can tell like over the years, like his voice has grown and like matured.
Oh
so
yeah,
it's like we got some actual singers, and like Pearl is an actual singer too. So yeah. Oh, and who else was on there? Because we see. What's her name? She was in Orange is the New Black. They called her Crazy Eyes.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember.
Oh, she's in the show?
Yes, she is.
Does she play? Which one does she play?
Oh my gosh, which one is that one?
Is it Bismuth?
Yes, Bismuth.
The crazy one, Alexandrite, right? Not Alexandra. But yeah, isn't hers rainbow something? But her gem. Her gem is like a rainbow something. Rainbow something. But
so just the update, Steven Universe is on Apple Music. They have a whole playlist. I mean, a whole thing.
The voice of Rose is the same as Megara. Is that like from Disney's Hercules? That Meg? I'm here for it.
From the 90s?
Yes, she is back.
Okay.
Also, but I've been listening to all the music on Spotify for like the past however long, so it's all because there's like at least 2 or 3 volumes, and then like the soundtrack to the movie, and I think there's like the CB's feature album. But yeah, that's the next one. Like next topic is the music. Like I loved the music. The music was great on that show.
It really was amazing.
And they had some really cool people on there singing. Who was it? So it was AJ Matraka, so from like the AJ Matraka from Allie and AJ, she did a couple of songs on there. She voiced a couple of people. Yeah, it was, and of course, you have Estelle. Has some really great songs, and the way that they are able to incorporate it into the story so well.
Yeah,
there was quite a few bops on the Steven Universe album.
There's a lot of bops, and there was just a lot of everything.
Estelle.
Yeah, Estelle.
Yeah, Estelle and Zach Callison.
Mm-hmm.
True Kind of Love.
Yes, that's a good one. I love that one.
Wow.
That's from the movie.
Oh, is that? Oh,
So I didn't make it to the movie.
Oh, you gotta watch the movie.
You gotta get the movie though, yeah.
You
And
gotta
then
watch
definitely
the movie.
Future afterwards. Like, do the movie before Future, but
Yeah.
Okay.
definitely do it. Definitely do it. You'll be satisfied.
Honestly, guys, I'm really surprised that I enjoyed it. Like I was cringing, if I want to be transparent, cringing.
Absolutely.
But after I watched, I was like, he's so adorable. He's so adorable. Somebody help him with his powers.
So here's the thing. Well, okay, so this is a good question. Do I like the show because it's a great show or a great show that she can share with the kiddos? Both.
I think it's because it's both. Yeah.
Both. I love the show because like I'll watch it by myself, but like it's also something that the kids and I love to watch too. And because like usually it's like the first like half of it, it's usually like what 15 to 20 minutes. It's like a comfort show, good background show, and like there's so much that you could just catch on, and it could just keep playing, and it'd be like something in the background for me. But I love watching it because I think it's a funny show, and I think it's a great show, and the kids love it too. So it's a little bit of both for me. It definitely both. But yes, you have to watch the movie, but also the way that Steve Universe Future will catch you in your feels, because yes. Okay, so spoiler alert.
The whole thing is spoiler alert.
Yeah. Okay, so spoiler alert. Because you're seeing him, he's like 13, 14 in that seasons 1 through 5. You have the movie, and then like he's in the movie, he's like 16. And he's like physically grown, like he has a neck and he's taller. And like that's the big thing. Like he even has a neck now. But like, and then once you have the movie and you have Steve Universe Future, you're seeing like all the things that had happened from season 1 through the movie and how it's really impacted him, because it's a lot that's happened, and he doesn't understand that he's gone through trauma. Like he's legit gone through trauma and he doesn't realize it, and the fact that like yes, his gym side is able to handle some of it, but he's still half human, so he still has to deal with those human emotions and those human feelings.
Sure.
So just him having to go through that was really heart-wrenching.
Also, really, just the fact that they even approached that subject, because like I'm sorry, at most shows and things we watch them, we see them end, and we get that little bit of resolution at the end that they usually give us, you know, that to wrap everything up. But like, you know, everyone's like happy in the end, and blah 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 blah. But they don't really talk about like, but for years you've been watching them go through struggle and things, and it's like, what does that do to a real person? You know what I mean? Especially when they're going through supernatural struggles, like how much more impactful will that be on a regular person? And things like that. In like regular life. So I think that they approached a lot of things that were really well written, even within the realm of this fantasy that they built. That show's fucking amazing. This show's so good. I can't take it.
So yes, like back to Greg though, like approaching Greg's parenting is literally him trying to be
not his parents.
Yeah, he's trying to be the complete opposite of his parents, and you don't really get to talk about that until later in the series. Not even until like Steven Universe Future, really. Like you, he's trying to be the opposite of that of those parents that were very stifling for him. That's why he's so hands off,
loose and free.
Yeah.
Yes, and kind of letting the gyms kind of handle the nurturing of Steven, when like no, he needed to be there too, and he needed to have to put his foot down on certain things. But I also think that was like a lot of confidence issues for Greg, because yes, he had the love of Steve's mom, Rose Quartz, but it was like he still had to struggle with the fact that like he's not a crystal gem. He's not a gem, and he can't fuse. Well, technically they did fuse. They fused to make Steven, but like he's feeling less than and not feeling like he can compare to the rest of them.
Right. I think that's really well written.
Well,
too,
Steven was going through that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he went through that. Definitely.
It makes sense.
And then, the other thing I really liked about it was just how they kind of unpacked and coded how, like, as we grow up, we almost because we inadvertently take on the traumas of our parents in a way. not,
Yes.
you know, and like that's that's common knowledge for our generation and stuff. But like that's just something that just happens because it just happens. You're interacting with a person, you're growing with their parent and stuff. And not only that, like parents are parents, but parents don't necessarily have everything figured out just because they're parents. You don't become a parent and then suddenly your life is just figured out and everything you do is perfect.
Right. I don't know shit.
Exactly. It's like, most people just don't know what the hell they're doing with their lives and things like that. And then here we are having kids, like, and then they don't, you know what I mean? So it's like we're all just kind of figuring it out together, but it approaches that in a different way, and I love it. I love that they even approach it, period, because most of the time they just kind of gloss over these things that are like real life things that we could be getting across in these mediums, like cartoons and stuff. So I loved that about it.
Yes. So, all right. So, Taman, you've only went through seasons 1 through 5, right? Or how much of it did you finish?
I finished this first season.
Ah!
Ooh, girl. Okay, well, you got a lot. You got a lot.
I know.
But you can do it in very little time. So honestly, from like
I know the episodes were so good. They were so good.
I would just say it's worth doing it. It's worth doing it. It really will be by the end of it.
No, hearing everything now, like I want to know, because one of the touch parts for me was like his mom in that situation.
And to be honest, the whole mom situation takes a whole 360 from the beginning. So it's like, and by the end, it's amazing. So just watch it.
Okay, can I ask a question then? Is she really dead? Yeah. Oh, I thought she was gonna pop back up as some type of new stone.
Technically, yes, but not really.
Yes.
No. Yes and no. No,
generally.
Yes
okay.
No, yes. Let's say yes because you know what?
She's not here. She's not around.
She's not.
Yes, and
got it. Okay, cool.
Yes, like, and she can't come back. So like, yes. So we'll then we can kind of talk about it. But like, favorite season for me. Oh my goodness. I would have to say, go ahead, Julian.
No, only because I'm terrible with seasons. I have a lot of episodes I like, but I can't remember which seasons they're in. So I'm just like, the whole season. I'm not sure, but
I loved season 1 honestly because it's so wholesome. Season 1 is so wholesome to me, and then when you start getting more into like the history of the crystal gems and the rebellion and all that stuff, like it's I would have to say season 5 when you really get to deal with the diamonds.
Yes, I'd say 5 and 6, 5 in future, because I feel like not that they don't have enough character development in the other ones, they definitely have so much, but like in those last few seasons, the character development that they have is it's probably its most like advanced level. So it just feels more close to home for us as like adults, you know what I mean? So a lot of Steven's character development prior is just much more of him like adolescence and stuff and child, it's much more childish in a way. So versus when we get to the end where they kind of matured a lot more. So their struggles then seem a little bit more relatable to us now. So I'd say the last seasons.
How old is he in the future?
He's like
16.
16. But no, what's her name?
16,
Connie go to college though? So they have to be like 18.
Because Connie's super smart. Like that's
right. That's right. I forgot. You're right. Well, yeah. All right.
Okay. So can I skip seasons or do I need to watch everything?
Okay, watch definitely the last 2 seasons and the movie. The last season, the movie.
Perfect.
Season 5, the movie, and future. Do that at least.
Perfect. Is all that on HBO Max?
Yes.
Okay, I know the seasons are, but I didn't know the movies were.
Yeah, the movie is there too.
Excellent.
Yes.
Follow-up episode.
Yeah, we could talk about all the coding that they have in there, and like honestly, from one season to the next, and just like the different story arcs and all the trauma, and I guess not trauma, but just more of the emotional impacts and situations that they address. That could be its own show, to be honest.
But you know what? That's so great for the assumed demographic of the show. That's so great because it creates a safe space to unpack things and start conversations. Like, hey, Dad, Mom did actually die. I have questions about that. So now you have your son or whoever your child is being able to ask these questions from watching this show in a positive way. unlike other shows. Oh my god!
Oh, there's a child now. We love it.
Steven, no!
He said good night, mommy.
He said, "I want to give you a hug." It's like, that's fine.
We want to give you a hug too. See the wholesome shit we like.
See?
Okay. All right. So, but let's talk about the movie though. So I know you said you haven't watched the movie, but like,
Sorry, spoilers.
I love the movie. Yeah, you're gonna watch the movie. You're gonna get into the soundtrack because the soundtrack is pretty great. So spoiler on the movie. So we have met the diamonds. So like, you haven't gotten to the point where you meet the diamonds, where it's like this whole big ordeal, and like, there you would think, conflict resolved.
Oh no!
Oh no, Jenna!
Oh no, Ricky, no! Okay, so Steven Universe, the movie.
Ricky, no!
Okay, so the movie was kind of great because it was a follow up to the final fifth season of Steven being like a child, I guess, or at least more of a child, and then we hit the movie, which then kind of follows the aftermath, I suppose, right?
Yeah, so it kind of follows the aftermath of that, but like, there's still some kind of conflict there with, I think the main thing is that all of this is kind of revolving around Steven's mom and the actions that she's done, whether it's on their home planet, home world, or on Earth, and because she's not there, Steven is having to deal with the repercussions of that. Whether it was intentional or not, regardless if his mom's intentions were good or bad, he's dealing with the consequences of it. And that's the thing throughout the entire series, is that he's having to get the fallback from whatever his mom did. And so this is another thing that his mom has done. And
then he now has
he's
to
having to deal with someone else who's gotten hurt because of it.
Yeah, it goes right back to the whole, the what our parents kind of, and it's not to like put blame. It's just more of like, it's more just to say that this is something that happened. So you have to approach these things. You have to deal with them.
Right.
And to be honest, and it's just, it also puts in that it codes in that sometimes it's hard to even approach our parents to, they have to kind of be an active part in unpacking that in a way, which is also something that we see with Steven when he confronts Rose about these things and about all the things that she's done, his mom about all the things that she's done and stuff like that. So it's like, that's another thing. It's like it kind of codes in there that these are conversations that we have to have with our ancestors, the people who came before us and stuff, because we want to unpack those things. We want to consolidate. We want to resolve those conflicts. So.
And like, one of the things I wish I would mention earlier in the show is that there's a lot of other things that the show unpacks as well. Like, it has really good LGBTQ representation throughout the entire series. Just with, like, these crystal gems are considered like non-binary women.
To be honest, I was gonna say all the crystal gems, period.
They're all coded as female, so they're all non-binary women, and you clearly see relationships formed out of that. So you'll see like the relationship between Pearl and what Pearl's in love with Steven's mom, Rose Quartz, and finding out Steven. Right. But like, I don't know if, I don't think it transferred that. I think it's more like of her wanting to protect him because he's a part of her. But the thing is that, like, she's dealing with like unrequited love because she feels that her relationship with Rose Quartz was so special and significant, but she's gone off with Greg Universe, and now they have this kid together, and Rose is not here anymore because of it, or she's not physically here anymore. And then you have our favorite fusion, Garnet. So Garnet is a fusion, which means that you have one or more, two or more gems combined together.
Yes.
So Garnet is a fusion, yes, of Sapphire and Ruby, and just like the way that you can clearly see this is, I love seeing Garnet separated. So like I love seeing Sapphire and Ruby as separate characters because you can clearly see like they're fused together like every day, all day, and like you can clearly see why. Like there's that intimacy, like they chose to be together, and like and Garnet is the result of that.
Yeah.
And Garnet's a great character. I think like they could have used her more beyond being just like I feel like they could have used her a little bit more beyond being just like the leader.
She was, I feel like, the most level-headed most of the times, and she didn't like kind of take the lead, even though being the lead because she was level-headed.
I think because with the two things with Ruby is supposed to be like the guard for a Sapphire, and the Sapphire is like this not all knowing, but like can predict the future, see things that others can't see, and so they need protection with a Ruby. And so you have those parts. So you have Garnet has the part of Sapphire where like they kind of know what's coming ahead, and so they're not as scared about it, or they're just kind of like they're okay. And then you have the strength of Ruby, and put them together, you have this big fusion that is Garnet, and also like Garnet's able to fuse with other gems too, and that's a weird issue. That's kind of one of the criticisms on there too.
Oh, because you're only two crystal gems, only two base gems can fuse, essentially, supposedly.
No. There's more of them. Like
that's what I thought.
Like
I thought you could fuse.
You can fuse because Garnet is a fusion, but she's fused with other gems before. She's fused with amethyst and pearl.
But I mean, in the end, that's essentially just a 4-gem fusion versus a 3-gem. You know what I mean? Because Garnet is Sapphire and Ruby, it's essentially Sapphire, Ruby, amethyst, and pearl all together, not necessarily Garnet, amethyst, and pearl. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like that fusion the fusions work, at least in my brain, because I feel like when they fuse with other gems, when other fusions fuse with other gems, the resulting gem is the result of all of the base gems. You get me? So it's like
I don't know because I feel like regardless of her being a fusion, she's still very much like Garnet herself is very much her own person, own character.
Because Ruby and Sapphire are different personalities, and then when they're Garnet, they are I guess the combination of them both, but like
just one
entirely separate third personality. You got me?
Yeah, like they're one entity, and that's completely different from them being separated.
Yeah, I agree.
So I was going to save this for last, but I'm gonna just do this now. But like favorite characters.
Oh my god. Amethyst. Yeah. This is birthstone. That one's a hard one though. Okay, wait, which one's yours? Oh, Garnet, I think. Yeah. Sorry, not to assume.
Mine's Garnet.
I was feeling. But Garnet is a great one. Jermaine, what's your favorite?
Jermaine is giving me like he's doing an interview, but he doesn't supposed to tell who he is, and so like
he's looking very Mark Zuckerberg after a 60-minute interview.
Like he said, work for him, and he's doing an interview
going on over here.
Oh, he's alive.
Yes.
So
okay.
Well,
do you have a favorite crystal gem?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Is everything good? All choppy.
No.
A little choppy. It is a little choppy. Okay, well, just say it.
Okay.
Say it. What's your favorite one? We can hear you as long as you say it.
Right now, my favorite favorite character, I think, is Connie.
I love Connie.
I do love Connie. That's a
do
good
love
one.
Connie.
Honestly, I wouldn't
Connie's
consider her,
great.
even though I do love her. Like, she wasn't like a first consideration. I was thinking more Crystal Gems. Which of the Crystal Gems do I love? But it's like, oh, but Connie's fucking baller.
Favorite
So's
crystal
Lars.
gem of the main ones, I would say Garnet. She's so straight monotone, so straight laced that moments get real funny. Like that moment with Jules when he was in love with her.
Yes.
And like writing her all these love letters.
And Connie was trying to help her, and she's like, N-O, period. That's the end.
Write this down. N-O, period.
Got it.
That's a good one. Honestly, mine might have been mine's a hard one because it's somewhere between Jasper and the Rubies because they were fucking hilarious.
I love the Rubies.
The Rubies.
Oh, you mean the 5 Rubies?
Oh, the Rubies were
the
so
voices
funny.
of the Rubies' voices are like my favorite thing. I love the voices of the Rubies.
Honestly, though, that is why they were so. It's actually that now that you say that, I'm like, actually, it's their voices that made me love them so much. Their voices were fucking awesome. Whoever did the voice over for the Rubies was great, but like that because
they're like a raspy kid's voice, and I'm like, this is hilarious to me.
Yeah, because I added some percent because you know the way the Rubies are, they're like these kids who think that they're like that they're badass, but they just keep fucking up. Every time they fuck up, it's like, I fucked up again. Whoever the voice was just like, oh, you're fucking hilarious. I can't.
The ones that like that love Amethyst. My daughter, she's gonna be Amethyst for Halloween. So we got the purple paint and we got the wig. We just got to get the rest of the outfit, and it's gonna be great. We've been waiting for years to do this.
When her and Steven went to go get French fries. They were.
I feel I got robbed.
What was the last part of the fries?
More than it should be. Was Sugalite. I love Sugalite so much.
She didn't get enough love.
Coolest weapon.
We'll have to talk about Sugalite though, because Sugalite's based off of a Hindu goddess.
Oh, that's right. We were just talking about this. Oh, this is that's a whole conflict. Okay, well, we'll get to that. Okay, so I'm sorry. You were saying, come on.
Jermaine?
Oh, when her and Steven would go, I guess it's Steven's favorite snack. It's not French fries, but I guess it's the leftover parts of like when they do French fries. The bits. The way that she just hangs out with Steven, that like they were just best friends. I love that. Yeah. I know she's supposed to provide a form of motherly support, but she almost comes across like a big sister to him.
No, she is more of a big sister.
I think that's really cool.
Amethyst is more of a big sister. I feel like it's Pearl and Garnet are like the parents. Amethyst is like a bigger sister.
Honestly, like Garnet feels like an aunt.
Garnet is the mom of the moms.
Mm-hmm.
She's like the auntie
so when
that
someone
you love and then everything too, because she's always got good advice.
Pearl's one of her weapons were taken, and I think Amethyst took it. I think it's the same episode too. Mm-hmm. Like when I enjoyed the scene where she. This is the episode where Steven was trying to fix a breakfast. I'm sorry, it's a different episode. Steve was trying to fix a breakfast for everyone to eat. This was a funny ass episode, y'all. This was so funny. His facial expressions when he breakfast. He was like dog paddle, and then it went down a water hole. He was like, oh no more dog paddle. It was hilarious. Other than that, Amethyst is my favorite, but I really, really like Pearl too.
I did love Pearl.
Yeah.
They were all
Aunt Pearl.
Aunt Pearl. She was
Hollow Pearl.
Ricky. Aunt Pearl. That's who she is.
She was honestly, she's like
Ricky,
she's the aunt who's like obsessed with you. The
Garnet.
Oh, he said Garnet.
Garnet obsessed with you.
Yeah, Aunt Pearl's obsessed with you. You know what I mean? She's the aunt that's like, oh, what's going on in your life? What are you doing?
Oh, that aunt. I was like,
you know, the
obsessive?
one
What do you
who wants to
mean?
know everything about you because they just, you know, that's
Like, I'm the cool hip aunt. Talk to me. You had sex? You did drugs? It's okay. You can tell me.
Oh, that's a good one.
So my favorite, of course, is Garnet. I think I love how they're so like smooth and cool, but just like the all knowing and like I love the calmness of Garnet.
Yeah.
I love the calmness of Garnet, but I love the Sapphire and Ruby separately too, and just like the pieces of them that make Garnet together are my favorite. And then I do love Connie. I think Connie is great. I think there's something really sweet and awesome about Connie.
Connie is a great foil for Steven. She's the perfect complement to him because she fills in all those gaps where he has
where
them.
his weaknesses. She fills all, her strengths are his weaknesses. It's amazing.
That's why she's the sword to his shield.
I know.
Oh,
guys, I just want to be a Steven and Connie. Is this too much to ask for? Is this too much to ask for? Total goals. Are you kidding? They're soul relationship goals. It's sad. Honestly, no. Actually, it's amazing because in future, when he went to the doctor for the first time, I literally cried. I cried.
Oh my god!
I cried when he thanked her. When he thanked her, that was enough. That was enough because she called, when he went to the hospital, something is okay. So he goes to the hospital because something is happening to him. It's the first time he's going to the hospital because
I can't wait to get to this. Oh my god!
So he's never actually been. So he goes for the first time. Something is happening to him. So Connie just calls his dad without even asking. She's like, okay, shit's going down. I'm just gonna call him and that's it. And so his dad like arrives like right in the nick of time, but it's perfect. She's like, hi. He's like, how did you know to come? And he's like, Connie called me. And Steven's just like, thank you, Connie. And I was just like, oh. And then the tears just started falling. I was like, I can't. This show is too much. Just that alone.
But like, let's talk about the fact that like there was so much like that's what got me about Steven Universe Future was that like you didn't realize there was so much stuff that he needed to do as a human child that he's never done before. Like Greg never thought to take him to a doctor.
Really fast.
No one.
Thank you, Billy, for always showing up. We will see you the next time. Have fun.
He never went to the doctor. He never went to school. Like
thank you, Billy, for joining us. But like that stuff right there is just like no one thought.
It's the littlest things. Yeah. Honestly. And what was the one when they all do like because it's shortly after that where they all do the hug, and it's just like because Steven needs the hug this time around. It's one of those things. It's like we've been watching Steven give everyone else fucking hugs the whole damn show.
That's honestly one of my issues with Steven Universe Future is because he's suddenly got like so closed off and just would like ignore whatever was bothering him instead of saying it. Whereas in any other series, like before, like in the first series, if something was bothering him, he'd like talk about it. He'd go to somebody about it. Like when he was hiding from Connie, he bottled it up, but eventually it came out.
But then that's kind of what we approached here. If anything, it just took a little bit longer, I suppose, than a one episode realization. But to be honest, I feel like I still found it very fitting. Because Steven's growing up now. You know what I mean? And that was the whole thing. He didn't want to burden anybody with like his feelings and his problems. Now he's at an age where he knows that when I do voice my feelings and my problems, I know what the effect is, especially because I've been the one who's been supporting everybody as they voice their feelings and their problems to me. I don't want to burden other people with that, so I'm going to hold it in.
But I also think this is the culmination of him, like, we're building up this whole time of him trying to figure out, like, where's his stance in the world, like, what is his purpose, Like, what is he supposed to be doing? And he spent the majority of this time being supportive, wanting to help out and do whatever he can to fix things.
Really fast. As reflective of that, because he helped a lot of the gems do that for themselves, even because the gems were in the exact same position. They had no idea where they were supposed to be in the world or what their purpose was, because their purpose was for this crystal battle, which no longer is like a thing anymore. So now what do they do? So I continue. So I was just going to say, because the parallel there is very strong.
Of moments that I love, can we talk about how like palpable that episode where he was trying to avoid Connie was after that first big fight? Like, that fight with Jasper messed everybody up.
Wait, the one with Jasper and Amethyst? The first one.
The first one, when Jasper first showed up and everybody got abducted. And like, once everybody got back, Connie was like, Steven, are you okay? And he could not face her. Like, that whole episode, that song, that everything, it hit me so hard.
Oh, man,
Jasper, no!
Jasper, no! Honestly, there's so many of those, though, because like the one for Pearl and Greg.
Oh
my God, 3 minutes of absolute bawling. I have never in my life have experienced like that. I was like
expecting.
Every word she fucking said, I was like, oh my God, Pearl, I can't believe. I'm so sad for, like, you know what I mean? I'm so sad, like, for you. Like, what's happening?
Okay, so here's I have a problem. I have a slight problem with Pearl. My problem with Pearl. Okay, so because of technically how she treated Greg, and even after Rose left or was gone, just like that whole like superiority thing that she has over Greg, and also like there are moments where like you clearly see she had not dealt with the trauma of the unrequited love, number one, and then like the having to deal with the battle and having to there's too many spoilers to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. But honestly, this whole thing is going to be spoilers because this show.
Spoilers don't bother me.
Well,
Lance, hey guys, been a while. I haven't watched since Period joined the squad.
It's Period.
The squad. Don't judge me.
Peridot.
Well, hi, Lance.
Peridot.
I love Peridot though. Actually, she was going to be one of my other ones.
Peridot.
I love Peridot.
Because she's so like kind of smart in her own way. Like she's not smart, but she's like so information like analytical in her own way. You know what I mean? That it's like it kind of gets in the way sometimes. Like when she puts Greg off the fucking
coded as neurodivergent.
Yeah, I love it though. I love it though because that's totally me. Like 90% of the time. So it's like when she pushed Greg off of the fucking roof, I died. She just like, I'm just gonna watch it and blah blah blah. Boop. And I was like, what?
So like my favorite thing is that she calls people a clod. So like Peridot is working for Homeworld, or she was in the beginning. And like that's her thing, is calling people a clod. And then what was it? It was some point in the movie, like one of my favorite lines in the movie. There's like this machine that could, or not, it's like this like cipher thing that it could chop the break the gem, and then the gem would revert back to like their.
It
could
unfuse the gem form.
No, well, I mean, yes, it would unfuse them, but it would like basically take them back to.
It would reset them. It would reset them.
Yes.
Oh, so their entire memories are gone too. So it's like they're in whole new gem. Like they just got born.
Yes.
Oh, bitch.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and so like part of the movie was Steven having to like have them experience things that made them who they were before this happened. So what made them into the gems that we know at that point. But Peridot had said, he like, oh my gosh, I just touched the thing. Like I could have lost so much character development. And like that's the funniest thing to me. I thought it was the best line.
I know it was.
Like, I could have lost so much character development.
It's so.
It was very on the nose.
I love when like shows that like kind of poke fun at themselves a little bit.
Mhm.
Okay,
Meta.
also P.S. Yeah, when they get a little meta, I fucking love it. But what I do absolutely hate though, everybody rags on Jersey. Oh, guys, I'm the Jersey resident, y'all. Born and raised, but everywhere they be ragging on Jersey everywhere. Even in Steven Universe, he was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. You know, the rest stop, even the rest stops in Jersey are like nicer now. They used to be really terrible, but now they serve sushi. And I'm just like, bitch, are you reading us? Are you reading me?
Period. Yes.
I'm so mad at this.
Yes.
Oh, WandaVision. Where else? Vampire Diaries. The very first like episode of the Vampire Diaries. I think they like mentioned not the first.
Y'all got called out like, at least 2 or 3 times in Hamilton.
Thank you, Hamilton. Everything that I've been like watching for this thing, I'm like every once in a while, something shows up with Jersey, and they're always ragging us. They're always dragging us somewhere, and I'm like,
why?
That's because Jersey exists to be dragged. If you can't drag Jersey, then
why when Texas?
Where can you drag?
Texas is a real place, y'all. How dare you come for Jersey?
No, but no, because
Jersey
like,
is older than Texas, therefore it can have more jokes than Texas.
I suppose, but we ain't got them redneck Wranglers.
Okay, so what Jersey is for New York, Alabama is for Georgia. So we'll spill some Alabama jokes.
I take offense to that. I'm from Alabama.
It's hard to be from that state, from the dirty state.
In the words of Julian, this is bullshit. Okay, because
I'm
this
saying.
is bullshit.
You know who else is from New Jersey? There are people from Jersey, I swear.
Who's from Jersey? The Cake Boss and Chunky Pam. Like that's all you got.
No, like Aerosmith or somebody. One of those people.
Okay.
Some old
Snooki.
school soft rock guy. Okay, we don't claim Snooki, but I don't claim Snooki. Anyway.
New York exists, drag Jersey. Exactly, Lance.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Speaking of dragging Jersey, so I'm going to segue this into Steven Universe via who's your least favorite character of Beach City?
Oh, a Beach City. That's a hard one.
Yes.
Yes.
Is Beach City New Jersey?
I didn't pay attention to anybody from Beach City, but I will say that I did not like Lars in the beginning because he was all front, he was all fake, and like I'm just trying to be cool. But honestly though, tearjerker when that bitch like went, I was like, this is what am I watching? This is a kid show. Why am I crying? I was not expecting any of this.
Oh, with him and Sadie?
No, with him and Steven. Essentially.
Oh,
that part.
Oh.
Like, he could not understand he could not understand why like the older cool kids, like what's his name? Onion's older brother.
Sour Cream.
Sour Cream. Like Sour Cream. And,
oh wait, seriously?
Them, like,
yeah, Sour Cream and Onion.
Yes. Sour cream, onions, their mom's name is Vidalia.
Fusion.
He's like, I need a drink.
Those are the regular people.
Yeah, I feel like the regular people have like worse names than the Crystal Gems. Somehow.
Don't tell him their mom's name, y'all.
I don't remember her name.
I already did. I already said it.
Oh, what was it?
Ruby or Quartz?
No.
Pink Quartz.
No.
Sour Cream and Onion's mom, Vidalia.
Sour Cream.
Oh, can I guess?
Vidalia. Oh, I was gonna say, was it Ruffles? Was it Lay's?
Is it Vidalia for real?
Yeah.
Vidalia, yeah.
Oh, it is.
But why is that significant? Is that bad that I don't know? Can we explain?
Vidalia, onion.
No.
Vidalia, onion, Julian. Oh, it's a type of onion.
Julian, no.
Julian, no. Okay, but the sour cream. What is he named after?
You don't want to know.
He just goes with onion, I guess. Oh, bitch, I don't want to know.
because sour cream and onion don't have the same dad. So
yeah, sour cream's after his
Yeah, they do have
dad.
the same dad. Who's just sour.
I mean, it's true.
Okay. For all the kids who are watching this, address if you have questions, talk to your parents.
Perfect segue, because you know what? Steven Universe probably has an episode for parents
about sour cream and why is it sour
with their kids.
Stop it.
Stop
it.
Sorry.
Okay, we're done.
Okay, so let's do like a quick commercial break. We're gonna talk about. We'll do a little bit of the criticism, and then just a little bit of the criticism, and we'll end the show. So
ooh, something smells
we'll keep it
good.
quick.
The heck? Okay.
All right, we'll see you soon. That's such a good picture of you.
I know. We love it.
Mm.
Oh, he's like, no. He's like, no. He's like, that's the worst picture of me. No. Oh, what is he crying about?
Beautiful.
Oh no. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Everything's fine.
Okay.
Have you guys ever seen, you know those commercials or YouTube videos where like it's parents who haven't seen their kids because they're like maybe deployed in the army or someone may be incarcerated, and then when they see them on FaceTime for the first time, they're like they're like really distraught. That's where I got that from. I'm so sorry. Like the graduation, like I haven't seen you in 10 years, but you show up at my graduation. I was like, oh my god. What is this robe giving?
We're here.
What?
What is this robe giving? I like the colors.
These are my fusion colors. These are the colors of Alexandrite.
Yes, Alexandrite.
Wow.
Yes, we all have a crystal gem color, right? Oh, we did talk about that already. So I'm going. Okay, mine is generally mine today is lapis. I'm going with lapis today. I am very lapis lazuli.
Yes, lapis.
Yeah. I even have a lapis lazuli.
Oh, my dark red.
I even have one sitting next to me. Actually,
Scarlet.
I don't have my birthstone.
Well, this is more like burgundy, but yeah.
No, we're here for it.
Yes, I got 'em.
Speaking of, so I went shopping, right? As you guys know, I went shopping to do the jewelry thing and to get us stones.
Yes.
Tell me why I could find everything except Alexandrite. And I was going nuts because of it. But it turns out that I should have chosen Pearl because Pearl is also for June. And Alexandrite is more of a precious stone than a semi-precious stone. So it's more up there on the same level as like ruby, sapphire, emerald, and diamond instead of like down on semi-precious like labradorite and amethyst and pearls.
Lapis.
And lapis lazuli. Like I can find lapis lazuli so easy.
Oh, of course. Well, there's certain stones that just how
Then why did it take why was it such a big deal with Vampire Diaries? They couldn't find those things to make those rings. Sorry, we're crossing over.
Alexandrite to make the rings.
Yeah, lapis lazuli. That was the
in the Vampire Diaries. They didn't have Hobby Lobby,
so
they couldn't.
How you gonna be in the South and not have a Hobby Lobby? I don't understand.
Exactly. But these moonstones are everywhere because the werewolves.
I even found Moonstone. I found so there's a stone called Moonstone, and then there's a stone that's actually from the same type of stone that you find on the moon, which is labradorite.
Wait, so labradorite is quote unquote moonstone, but there is a stone called a quote unquote moonstone.
Yes. And sometimes
Yeah.
people call Alexandrite moonstone. But moonstone is white, Alexandrite is black, and sometimes purple or green. And labradorite is this like delicious slate gray. Like it's
So then why would that be moonstone? Or it's a type of moonstone, is that why?
what, labradorite?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Because the rocks on the moon are sort of that color. We always see it as
Allegedly.
white because of the reflection of the moon or the reflection of the sunlight off of the moon. But
is that what makes a moonstone? That it is in that color scheme? Okay, makes sense.
And I had made
It's
a
for
necklace
transition and
specifically
safe
to display
journey.
such, but I took that off. It's hot.
He said no.
All right, so we'll talk about this like real briefly because I've been enjoying this conversation. But there, as much as we love the show and like the wholesomeness of the early seasons and the LGBTQ rep for the majority of the show, there was some criticism
Let's get into
of the
it.
show. And I'm waiting for my
Let's get into it.
There it is. Let's get into it. All right, so I was talking to Julian about this earlier, but you know, the first like fusion outside of Garnet that we see is Sugilite. And
no, the first one is Opal.
Is it Opal?
It's Opal.
Oh, is that it? Oh. That is the one. That goes with my favorite song, Giant Woman.
Uh-huh.
No, that one is Sugilite.
No, it's Giant Woman. It's Opal.
You're right.
That's where Opal. Fusion is introduced to the audience. And then after that, then we get Sugilite for that one episode, and it's like mad crazy.
Yes. So Sugilite is actually based on a Hindu goddess called Kali, the goddess of goddess of destruction. And so there were some issues with, I don't know, but I'm on the air right now and I need you to go outside. Thank you. So sorry.
I'm here for it.
Look, they came in busting in with a watch, wanting to know what time it was. I'm like, sir,
you in front of you, sir.
you better go watch Steven Universe and gone.
Look, you better ask your Alexa out there in the hallway what the time is.
Google can answer this for you real easy.
Right now, besides me, okay. But no, so Sugilite is a caricature of the Hindu goddess Kali, the goddess of destruction. And so there were some issues with that because you have this, because some of a lot of these gems are coded certain ways. So we know, like, the most obvious one would be Garnet. Garnet is coded as black, Afrocentric, like clearly Garnet. Amethyst is
black Latina.
It could be black.
Yeah.
Black Latina, black or brown. And then pearl's kind of coded as white. And so like there were some issues with kind of. So like there's very white. But like there's some issues with how with when you have the fusions of like Garnet and Amethyst together. And fusion. Hello. And though that one was destructive, and some of the ones with Amethyst are more like wild and more destructive in general, as opposed to the ones that are fused with Pearl, who are a little bit more, not necessarily classy, but more refined.
They were more upright, more put together, more straight laced, but. Right. At the same time, that's their character traits. Like when they fuse, they just heighten their traits. With like Sugilite, she's more destructive because Amethyst is the wild girl of the bunch. Amethyst don't give a shit, and she'll break whatever she wants. She'll do what she wants. And with Sugilite, she has that same I'll do what I want, but also she has the added power of Garnet. So now she's like drunk with power. Same way
And
that
that temper of
Sardonyx was
Ruby.
drunk with power, but her version of being drunk with power was I'm obsessed with being this strong, rather than I want to exert this strength.
Right. And
Although
that's go ahead.
But okay, did that fusion also have Amethyst?
What, Sardonyx?
Sardonyx.
No, that was Pearl and Garnet.
Mm-hmm.
So then now I kind of see it. Now I kind of get it, because if that were to include Amethyst, I would wait. Sardonyx was more about exerting that power. No, that's right. Sugilite was more about exerting that power. Sardonyx was more about the other thing you said. Sorry.
Yeah,
Never mind.
with
Sardonyx
Sardonyx,
very
Pearl was more obsessed with having the
That.
power that Garnet has.
Okay, so sorry. I
right.
had
And that was also an issue because we've had like between Amethyst and Pearl, they're kind of like in this weird flux with wanting to be fused with Garnet because Garnet is so strong, and when they're fused with Garnet, it makes them feel powerful. Now one of the issues with Pearl was that Pearl would recreate the situation where she needed to they thought they needed a fuse with Garnet, and so like you're kind of like talking about the areas of consent. So now like it's almost like Garnet is having to fuse without her knowledge, without full consent, because she's being tricked into thinking like there's a reason for her to be having to fuse. Where like the thing with fusion is that it's actually a very personal, intimate thing to do. Hence why Garnet is a fusion that's like been a fusion like for the longest time. Like that's a very intimate situation, and you have some people that take advantage of that intimacy.
Yeah, it's very coded toxic relationships in a way, but
yes.
wait. Okay, so
Yes.
who was
and codependency issues?
Hey, there we go. That's the one.
Yeah. Yes. And then there's another one that was like where there's
So wait, really fast. So
like
then the problem
clearly being.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
What was that? Sorry.
I was gonna say the problem is that Pearl, when she fuses with Garnet, it's not so much about feeling powerful. So then, like, what is the issue with Pearl fusing with Garnet versus Amethyst exactly? Just because one is more.
With Pearl and Garnet, it's more Pearl's obsession with being powerful, her feeling strong and feeling in control. With Amethyst, it's more exerting power and being free and just being destructive as all out. So
both
either
toxic.
case, I don't think it's as racial though as it seems.
But in Sugilite's case, more Sugilite and Garnet do it because they sort of enjoy being Sugilite, but they also know that Sugilite has a tendency to take it too far, so they don't do it often. So they enjoy doing it together, but they don't do it that often because they can really hurt somebody.
I see. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
More destructive.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
So you said there were racial issues.
Well, it's because of how these characters are coded. Just kind of like if whether or not these things were written purposefully or just
I see what you're saying. Okay, so
like,
then it's more like
bias.
is like more like composed and very white, and then when you fuse with like Amethyst, then you're a little bit more wild and more.
Right.
How come it's a black girl that's wild and ratchet?
And it's like exactly, it's like that kind of a feel, and it's like okay, I can see where they're.
But you can also see it in their dancing styles when they dance to fuse, because when they dance, Pearl does ballet and very
graceful
ballet.
Yeah.
And like Amethyst
Garnet, and Garnet is ballroom.
Garnet does like either ballroom or like tutting.
Yeah.
So, and when I say for those that don't know, for those that don't know, like when I say ballroom, I'm not thinking like classically trained like ballroom dance. I'm talking about like LGBTQ
Vogue.
ballroom pose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ballroom.
She
Yeah.
vogues. She vogues and she
tuts.
tuts.
Yeah.
I love that.
Honestly,
Well,
I don't
so
remember that. Is that weird?
hearing the racial stuff, I mean, I can see how it could be presumed that Pearl would be a usurper of Garnet's magic, and that she's power hungry and sees the power in those others and will want to manipulate that for herself. That feels, you know.
Okay, see that I didn't
Very
think of that, but I was like,
colonizing.
but to say that the thing is that this is that, but to acknowledge that is also acknowledge the other side of that coin.
Exactly. That's what I thought of. Like, actually, that's true.
But also, when we're talking about dancing, don't forget that the most ballroom, the most voguing one of them all is Rainbow Quartz, the fusion of Rose and Pearl. Like, she did the death drop and everything. Like,
Miss Uppity Graceful Pearl knows how to fucking death drop and drop it low and the whole nine.
which means that mostly came from Rose
with the right girl, when she's with the girl she wants to be with, all of a sudden she can do all these crazy things. Right?
That feels accurate.
That does feel accurate, though. It really does, though. Like, finally, when they find the person they can kind of let loose with, like, okay, so if anybody's been watching Jermaine's timeline today, only because I say that because I came across the exact same video of that girl dancing and the really cringeworthy, like, moments. Okay, so here's Pearl with her Rose breaking it down. Oh god. Okay, so you might have to go to Jermaine's Facebook for that one, but
but Facebook went down right after I posted it.
I know, it's the sad part.
So I didn't see it. It's been a lot.
It's essentially it's this. Okay, so it's like, you know, this ratchet song and somebody's like dancing and then this girl comes out and she starts dancing and everyone stops because she's dancing. So it's just, you can probably imagine what it looks
I can't wait to go back and watch it.
You can probably imagine what it looks like, but it's a little cringy, but
is it Pearl?
All right, so we're gonna have to like wind it down, y'all, because it's about 5 minutes. And so this has been a fun show. So
yeah.
All right, quick final thoughts. Like, so my friends that just watched it, simply for us to have this conversation, how do y'all feel about
the whole show in general?
Yeah.
Oh my god, amazing. I will recommend this to everybody. Every adult you know should watch this show because the adults will then make their children watch it. Every adult you know, recommend this show to. That's all. Yeah. That's all I gotta say about it.
I'm so glad that you got into this show this week, Julian, because before this week, he had never seen it. And I told you and Taman, I was like, look, you can binge the whole series in like 5 hours.
You really did.
I did the whole thing in a day. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I will say that it was a nice journey, even though I didn't finish all the seasons or the movies. But I will say that I enjoyed it. It made me think like this would be a dope live action movie, but like that probably get a whole bunch of weird feedback if they start casting it. So maybe
it would be like Avatar: The Last Airbender again.
They would only ruin it because no live action is going to approach the subjects the way Steven Universe did in the way that they did, and then resolve them the way that they did. That's the basic.
Right.
And that's one of the.
Go ahead, Ricky.
That was actually one of the criticisms. Like they felt that like some fans felt like they didn't go far enough with the direction that it was going.
I think they were pretty well. They did go further than most shows do. I mean,
yeah.
like you want the full Monty, but
like the biggest criticism that the show gets is with the main villains, the Diamonds, and how they didn't really get the comeuppance that was coming to them.
Oh, they did not. They did not. They didn't.
Yeah, they like started a whole war and shit, like, and they still got off scot-free.
They were like, "Oh, we'll just genocide 50,000 planets, but you forgive us, right? We've decided to change.
We'll do better. I promise.
We decided that
Promise.
we didn't like things the way things were. We just kept doing it because it's the way we were doing it for thousands of years. But we'll be better now."
The only thing I'm going to say about that is that their consequences just should have been different. They shouldn't have they could have been friends. They can make a change of heart, and that's really like the main point here, is that it is never too late to make a change of heart. You can be a really terrible person, and then you can just change and stop being a terrible person. No, that does not exonerate everything that you've done before. But it does, but you can still change. That you don't have to continue being that person either. You get me? And that was like something that they approached that I liked. What I did not like is that they did not make sure that those people learn that they need to atone for their mistakes. It is okay to be forgiven and to make a change of heart, but that does not mean that you are not exonerated from what you've done. You need to still atone for that.
Exactly.
And that they didn't approach. They didn't approach those diamonds doing more to make up for what they've already done.
They were only making up to other gems, not for the other worlds that they had destroyed. They were just like, "Oh, well, we'll fix the corrupted gems."
Yeah. And it's like, well, yeah, I'm just
so sorry.
But like,
all right,
now will you be friends with us?
All right, so now next week's episode, Timon's hosting, and it will be, I'm about to show y'all. Hopefully it'll show.
Wow!
Oh no! Yeah!
Wow!
Okay,
I'm scared.
We should be
Don't be scared.
scared.
I gotta catch up. Like I've only need to catch
10
up. On
seasons.
Wherever you are, Ricky, you're ahead of me.
Okay, so I'm very far behind on this one. I'm not going to lie, but I'm still here for it. So,
all right. So
I mean,
that
really,
means
you can watch some highlights. You can watch some highlights, but there's certain seasons you need to watch. Like the first 3 seasons,
I'm not a highlight
have to watch
person.
those.
I got to see the whole season.
It's 10 seasons.
You got a week.
Okay, it's only 13 episodes per season. You'll be fine.
Oh, that's only 13 hours. That's easy.
13 hours, 7 seasons. I mean, whatever. That's only a week.
It's 10
That's all
seasons.
week. Whatever, you have all week. Okay, good. Every day of the week, we'll be watching a season of American Horror Story.
Just watch
But yeah, we're going to have fun next week.
Yes. All right. So thank you so much for joining us tonight for another episode of Geeking Out. Hopefully that is the right episode we're doing next week, right? We'll talk about it.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Either way, thank you all for joining. If it changes, it changes, but you will find out definitely beforehand.
Right. And so make sure that
you'll watch it. You'll watch it.
Yes.
Either way, we'll be there. Either way, we'll all be there on Monday.
So make sure that you like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. Find us on Twitch, Rickey Z, Day Gamer. Nelly actually has a Twitch account that you can find the what is it called? The writing sprints through the writing club that we have.
Was a fun one. That was so much fun.
Yes. Also, keep on the lookout because Talk It Out, our sister show, is coming back sooner than you think. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. But other than that, y'all, I think we're good to go.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Thank you for joining
us. All right.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.